Hello, we are going to start learning about lesson number 3. A reminder, a society is a large group of people that live together. There are 5 parts of society: social, political, and now we're going to learn about the third one, interaction. So I stands for interaction. Interaction, it is the communication between humans and the environment. So think about plants and animals, diseases, technology, landforms, and climate. So when we think about interaction, we can think about climate. So what is it like to live in a place that's hot, cold? Is there snow? Is there rain? So humans and the climate, and how does that work when humans are living in different climates? We can also think about landforms. Humans living by the desert or in the desert. Humans living on the plain or mountains or oceans. So the interaction between landforms and human. You can also think about plants and animals, right? They're a part of nature. So animals, humans interact with animals. Cows, chickens, all the animals, but those are some examples, especially since we eat those animals. Also think about plants, trees, all the vegetables, all the fruit. So we grow plants, we eat plants, we cut down plants, especially trees. That's the interaction between humans and the environment. Also, technology. Technology is a part of the environment and humans interacting and the technology interacting with the environment. So cars, they have exhaust, pollution, computers and Wi-Fi and the telephone. So these are all parts of interaction. So there's the 4 pictures. So what did you observe in the pictures? This is a picture of the side of a mountain and how people interacted and lived on that mountain and how they grew their plants and their food to sell and feed their family. Here's another picture of humans interacting with the environment. So this is the ocean. These are islands. This is down in Florida. So humans interact with the environment, and we humans built this road on the environment, and we drive our cars over the environment, the land, the ocean, the islands. Here's another picture. This is humans throwing our garbage onto the environment, right? This is land that animals used to live on. There used to be plants and trees. Humans, we interact with the environment, and sometimes it's not good because look at what happens, the garbage. Here are humans interacting with animals, and this looks very fun and very nice, but where do dolphins live and where should they be? Dolphins live in the ocean, but humans, we take them out of the ocean and put them in a zoo so we can go see them and play with them. So this is sometimes how humans also interact with animals, and we take animals out of their environment so we can see them. Maybe that's not a good thing either. So some questions you can think about when we're talking about the environment and interaction is, how does the climate affect people? How do people live in a cold climate? How do people live in a hot climate? It's different. How do the landforms affect the people? What is it like to live by a mountain? What is it like to live by a desert? Societies are different depending on where they live, right? It's different to live in a place that's really cold and by the mountains than it is to live in a hot place by the desert. Another thing to think about is, how do people affect the land? So, what happens when people kill animals? What happens when people cut down trees? We also affect the environment in the same way the environment affects us. It goes both ways. So here's our paragraph. So we're going to read the paragraph and find examples of interaction in the paragraph. So we're going to look for ways that this paragraph talks about technology or climate or plants or animals or landforms. So that's what we're listening for. Pollution happens when the environment outside is contaminated or dirtied by waste, chemicals, and other harmful substances. Some causes of water pollution are easy to see. People dump garbage and sewage into creeks, rivers, ponds, lakes, and oceans. Factories or cities sometimes release oils, poisonous chemicals, and other gases into the water. When these chemicals go into the ground, they may make the water unfit to drink. Chemicals also may drain into rivers and lakes where they can harm fish and other forms of life. Littering or tossing garbage on the ground is a form of land pollution. Litter is unpleasant to look at. It can destroy the habitats or homes of plants and animals. These chemicals can spread to plants and animals. They may even harm people who eat the contaminated plants and animals. So in this paragraph, we have examples of interaction. So what happens when people interact with the environment? So we're going to find some examples of interaction. One example is people dump garbage and sewage into creeks, rivers, ponds, lakes, and oceans. So this is humans, people, interacting with the environment. So humans throw garbage into water, and water is the environment. So here's one example. Factories or cities sometimes release oils, poisonous chemicals, and other waste into water. So this is another example. People who run factories or live in cities dump chemicals and other bad things into the water, and the water is the environment. And think about who lives in the water. Fish, ducks, insects. Last example is, it can also destroy the habitats or homes of plants and animals. So it is us, humans, we destroy the homes of animals and plants, especially when we cut down trees. That's a big problem, and humans interacting with the environment. So that was interaction. So when you think about interaction, think about all of these parts and how humans, people, interact and affect the environment.